The night erupted into chaos inside a roaring stadium as Detroit opened with a violent surge, attacking Dallas with speed that felt merciless from the very first snap. Pressure crashed into the backfield, forcing desperation throws, but Jahmyr Gibbs refused to be contained, slicing through defenders with terrifying ease, breaking tackles as if the Cowboys' defense were made of paper, dragging the ball to the doorstep of the end zone. Every run carried the weight of a team demanding respect, demanding recognition, demanding a moment where Detroit would finally declare itself unbreakable, while Dallas looked shaken, gasping for control that kept slipping through trembling fingertips as the Lions struck first with a punishing touchdown that rocked the building. Dak Prescott tried to answer, rolling, searching, firing into tight windows, but even his strongest throws carried the stiffness of a quarterback feeling the full weight of a stadium turning against him. Jake Ferguson fought through traffic. CeeDee Lamb broke free with desperation in his stride, and still Detroit's pressure kept closing in, snapping at Prescott's heels like a storm determined to swallow him whole. A 57-yard field goal briefly gave Dallas hope, but hope felt thin, fragile, cracked at the edges, especially as Detroit kept ripping through missed tackles, as Amon-Ra St. Brown flew inside the 10, as Montgomery powered forward with a fury that felt personal, carrying defenders as if dragging ghosts. The Lions smelled weakness. They did not hesitate. They did not forgive. They hammered the middle, slammed the edges, and drove the ball into the end zone again, their sideline erupting as Gibbs crossed the line untouched, while Cowboys players stood frozen, staring at each other with a kind of silent panic that exposes everything. But Prescott refused to surrender. Barely holding the ball, barely escaping collapsing pockets, he fired into impossible windows, forcing plays that required courage, hunger, and a willingness to be hit. Brevin Spanford bailed him out. CeeDee Lamb clawed for every inch, and Aubrey kept drilling long field goals like a man trying to keep Dallas alive with the last breath of a drowning team. Yet Detroit's answer was always colder, crueler. The Lions attacked with a rhythm that felt inevitable, their receivers cutting through the secondary like blades through cloth. Ferguson fumbled. Jack Campbell punched the ball out with the fury of a linebacker refusing to be denied. Detroit recovered. Detroit punished. Detroit struck again, this time with Montgomery smashing free for a devastating 35-yard touchdown that exploded inside Ford Field like a primal roar. The Cowboys were down double digits, down in spirit, down in belief. But somehow, they kept fighting. Prescott's body absorbed hits that would shatter most men. Yet he stood tall, delivering passes through collisions that rattled the broadcast booth. Ryan Flournoy began a performance no one saw coming. Catch after catch, bold, fearless, defiant, dragging Dallas back from the edge. CeeDee Lamb powered through contact. Penalties piled up. The field felt heavier with every step. Detroit pushed. Dallas pushed back. The tension felt suffocating. Every snap carried the weight of a season balancing on one trembling thread. Then came the turning point, a brutal interception off a deflection that dropped into Derek Barnes' hands like a gift from fate, sending Detroit into a frenzy as he rumbled toward the end zone. One play later, Isaac Teslier silenced Dallas with a cold, clean touchdown through broken coverage that exposed every flaw left in the Cowboys' defense. Yet somehow, unbelievably, the Cowboys did not collapse. Prescott converted impossible downs. Flournoy broke Detroit's coverage again and again, and Dallas clawed their way back with a touchdown that felt like a scream of defiance from a team buried but not dead. A 2-point conversion followed, Ferguson holding on through violence, turning the stadium into a boiling pressure chamber with Dallas suddenly within 3. But Detroit answered again, refusing to bend, refusing to doubt. Goff fired to Jameson Williams. Gibbs found the opening he had been waiting for, slicing through for another touchdown that sent shockwaves through the Cowboys' sideline. And still Prescott kept rising, even as Muhammad tore him down again and again, piling up sacks that felt like physical reminders of the pain Dallas was forced to endure. Flournoy kept Dallas breathing with another heroic catch. Pickens fought through contact. Dallas kept approaching the red zone like men fighting through fire, but the hits grew heavier, the windows tighter, the urgency suffocating. And eventually, the pressure broke through, an interception by DJ Reed, the man targeted all night, claiming his redemption by ripping away Dallas' final hope with hands that refused to shake. Detroit seized the game in a storm of noise and fury, leaving Dallas stunned, battered, and engulfed in the harsh truth that effort alone cannot always rewrite fate.